Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video, and today I really want to talk about something, and I feel like the entire Ranger, like most of the fandom, just literally either doesn't get a few things or decides that if they don't like what they hear, they instantly go on an attack and have to tell people what they would do or how they would do things. But before we begin this video, if you want to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. What am I talking about? Well, Simon Bennett is the showrunner for the entire Power Rangers universe at the moment. He has been in charge for making Dino Fury, and I want to state this now because I probably will forget. Do you remember when the article for the Illuminati dropped where Power Rangers was splitting from Toei, etc, etc, and everyone was turning to Simon and taking Simon's word as gospel? You know, oh, Simon says this is not happening, Simon says this, and boom, everyone was jumping to it. But now it feels like they've just gone, well, we've not heard what we like, so I'm going to have to come off and be a massive prick and go for him, tell him he's wrong, tell him that I would do it this way, etc, etc. And it does generally really annoy me. But let's jump over to that thing now. But this is over on Twitter. And this here is pretty much, there are two articles or two things that have popped up. One saying, like, you know, if Lupin Ranger versus Pata Rangers are going to be done. Now, this here was done from Power Rangers Hype. It says, retweet if Q Ranger should be adapted into Power Rangers. And there was two that popped up. So first of all, we're going to look at Pata Ranger. It says, I'm going to choose Lupin Ranger versus Pata Ranger. That needed to be adapted as well. And Simon turns around and says, Rangers as cops, problematic in today's climate, which is absolutely true. Rangers as robbers, problematic as Rangers can't be criminals. And that is a thing. Now, I have my own theory on how I would adapt it very differently, but I'm not going to force it on Simon or turn around and throw it at him and say, you're wrong, I can do it this way, because that's not right. At the end of the day, it's up to them. I'm not going to turn around and have it. I'll make a video, which I do plan on doing, but I'm not going to have a go at Simon for no reason or that. Now, here's the thing here. Why can't Power Rangers be thieves? Is it because this is a children's show? Then what about the LGBTQ in Power Ranger? Even though this is a speculate aimed at children, isn't it? And Simon is completely right. There's nothing morally or ethically problematic with LGBTQ+, or LGBTQ+I+. Simon Bennett, let's go. And that's fine. Like, you know, Simon has said that absolutely correct. So first of all, let's break this down. If they can't do it because cops and robbers, or, you know, cops and thieves are problematic, then they are not going to go and make it because they don't want the backlash and having to make something completely different. This is not how it works, and Simon is completely right saying that this is problematic and they're not going to do it, or they aren't going to do it at this time. I find that absolutely fine. Now, this is one thing here by Chadwick. Should have been, instead of Dino Fury, adapt Q Ranger for the 2021 to 2022 season and hold Dino Fury on for the 30th anniversary in 2023. Simon says, too many Rangers in Q Ranger. I'm going to say it again. Dino Supercharge had 10 Rangers. 2 more wouldn't be an issue. And this is the issue itself. Now, a lot of people don't actually pretty much remember Dino Supercharge, and the fact is that it only focused on the core 6 Rangers, or 5 Rangers plus the Gold Ranger. Do you remember Tyler's dad after that entire big arc? Do you remember the fact that Prince Philip disappeared? Do you remember any of the other Rangers? Where's the Cyan Ranger? Where was the Silver Ranger? Do you remember all these Rangers that weren't in every single episode? Now, from my understanding of Q Ranger, I've not seen it. I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but I know that there are quite a lot of Rangers, 12 Rangers to be in fact, and I'm guessing that they all don't go off on secret missions, that everybody is in the same room majority of the time. So, too many Rangers, and there was an extra thing when we're looking at this. This is the main thing. With that many Rangers, it's nearly impossible to tell character stories of any depth across a season, and that is true. So if we click here, hopefully it will carry on. But okay, maybe not. So basically this is true. The whole thing of having an in-depth storyline where we know the fans want it, and this is one thing that pisses me the fuck off, right? You will have one ranger that someone loves. Okay, let's take for example, I like this ranger or I like this ranger, and they have a very in-depth story, like 100%, like a big enough story that is the most epic one that you see. They won't do it correctly. They won't do it right because you have so many rangers that have different stories. And one of the arguments that comes up is, well, Super Sentai did it. And yeah, that's true. But they didn't have a break for like in the middle of the season, because obviously if Nickelodeon still has it, we don't even know what the rules for Netflix are. They could ask for a 5-episode season. Look at He-Man. Look at those shows. Now, some shows do get more, I will say that. You know, you have maybe 20 episodes, you may have that. But again, that's up to Netflix. So saying like, oh my god, we can have all these freaking Rangers. It may not happen. And I think that we need to kind of accept this, not just use our feelings. And this is one thing that really kind of goes in much later. So look at all these Rangers right now. How are you going to tell an in-depth storyline over, say, 20 episodes, 22 if you count the Halloween and Christmas episodes? How are you going to tell an in-depth story in this? You're going to leave most of them out. What will happen is you'll have the core team of how many Rangers are normally there, and the others will go off on missions, because space missions and stuff like that, and then they come back. It'll be like, it will be the Dino Supercharge. Where did Philip go? Oh, he's off doing something in Xandar. Where's the Cyan Ranger? Where's the dad for Tyler? Oh, he went off on an exhibition because he got a new thing. You don't get any in-depth. What do we know about Tyler's dad that's properly in-depth, that had a story built? Nothing. He disappeared. They found him. They brought him back. He disappeared, and he wasn't in it. What about Prince Philip? Oh, okay, we know that he's a prince, but didn't he have a bit of kind of a change of character? But where's more in depth of that? I want to see more of that. But we didn't, because he wasn't there. You know, it'd be something like, where's Philip? Oh, yeah, he'll be back in 3 months. But if we need him, like call him, oh, he's just randomly turned up. Guys, I'll let you use my Energem Zord. Woo! And then that's it. You don't see him. Anyway, I'm digressing on it. These are all things that we see. But one thing is, and this really just gets me, why would you go against the showrunner and have a go at him again and keep having a go at him? It just doesn't make sense. So let's look at some of the replies. I even chimed in on this because I generally was just getting fucking annoyed about this. So, with that many Rangers, it's impossible to tell the stories of in-depth across season. It's really not, especially since a lot of these characters and stories intertwined with each other, Balance and, for example, as well as Stinger and Champ. So to have those stories, you have to do a lot more in depth, and you can't do it in the present state. So I replied with, but the main thing is that with Power Rangers it would be difficult. It wouldn't be a copy of the Sentai, and the characters would be different. Hardly any character development would make the show boring, and that, I believe, is true. If the show is boring, no one's going to watch it, and it's going to get cancelled. Of course it would be different. I would hope that it would be very different, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. The Sentai already showed how doable it is. The storylines and the dynamics don't have to be the same, but the idea of liking character stories together should be. But at the end of the day, like, you want to like a character, but you've got too many. The video that I made a while ago was like, you have too many people on set, you have too many doubles, and you want to know more of the story. As I say, if you had your favorite character and then suddenly they got 5 minutes of screen time and then they disappeared and you didn't see them until the finale, or you didn't see them until like a big crossover or something, you're gonna want, where's that Ranger? Otherwise, it just feels like it's an excuse. Yeah, Sentai could do it, but we're not as good as them and can't be as good as them, so why are we not going to try? It's nothing about that. If Simon, who has been writing this series and it being in depth in it, he says that it can't be done properly, then they're not going to try, because again, it will fall down to the whole point of, my season wasn't that great, my season sucked. Do you want another Operation Overdrive? Do you want another Super Mega Force? Do you want these sorts of shows? No, you don't. You want the best product you can put out there. Otherwise, people turn off and the show gets risk of being cancelled because no one's watching it, no one's buying the toys, bar the die-hard fans out there. So let's continue. I haven't read all of these. Dino Charge had 10 Rangers, yes, but Zero-Wing only served to spectate from Doomwing. Severed to separate. Philip was away in Xandar, and James left as soon as he finally showed himself. Okay, let's carry on. So I haven't seen this. Yeah, but that stuff was mostly because of the Power Ranger stuff. Xenowing's Japanese counterpart was the mentor of the show, so we got more development there. It actually does make me question as why they made Keeper the mentor and not Xenowing. Right? I'm saying that character development wouldn't spread evenly with the 10 of the that it had to judge, disproving its use for the predicament. Again, seems more like some problem with the writing team for PR, not that they are bad or anything. I think they are doing a very fine job. I just think that if they do end up adapting Q Ranger, they'll hire some more writers and that have more experience in writing for larger casts. But we know that they're not going to do this. We know that with the writing team, they're going to be fine with it, what they are. But you're going to focus on the main team. We can say all this, we can speculate all of this, and throw it out there and say, hey, like this is what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, we're not part of that team. Hasbro could say you're absolutely fine. We could get rid of a writer. We could add 1 or 2 more. But at the end of the day, it's all about how you kind of tell that story. I don't want a shit story anymore. I want the series to be taken properly and not fucking thrown to the wolves because, you know, it's a kid show. I want the show to be taken properly. Either way, you didn't watch the show. Q Ranger Dino Charge was still mostly all about the main 6, which is true. The rest are likely to are like recurring cast, not showing up every time. Q Ranger promoted as 9, later 12 Rangers. These two teams are really different despite having more than 6 Rangers. That's absolutely true. Second season of Dino Charge wasn't good though. And also, they didn't have enough time to properly develop all the characters. Again, true. Heckle was done so dirty. Again, see, these are the things. It's not just about the team, like the Rangers being developed. You have other characters as well. Look at all the things. Heckle could have been a great character, but he was underdeveloped because it was always Snide that was out rather than Heckle. And the show died a lot. And this is the thing, everyone just keeps focusing on the Dino Charge had it. Again, Dino Charge was an okay season. It could have been 10 times better. Look at the season finale. We destroyed the world, so we've opened up an entire whole different timeline because we saved fucking dinosaurs. Hence not being able to bring them in properly rather than be like, well, this device here that we use to cross dimensions disrupts the morphing grid and hurts it. This is writing that needs to be sorted, and we won't get it properly. Dino Charge had 6 main rangers, the rest additional. Meanwhile, Q Ranger has 12, and all is the main character. So I think it's hard to develop all the characters within 2 seasons with 20 episodes each. Well, why couldn't Karoo seasons be written that way too? It's an adaptation. So you're saying that the Sentai has to do what Power Rangers does? That they have to write 22 episodes and then have a break for such a long time and then bring it back? No, Sentai is going to be completely different. It kind of irritates me. And then again, we've got stuff here. Good evening. I know about the situation and I get it. You know what will be. The next and reasons are logical. But what do you think about this season for the future of Power Rangers adaptation? And Simon brings this up, and I've seen this a few times because everyone goes, we've got to throw in this, we've got to throw in that. You know, I'm afraid I can't talk about this stuff or even listen to fan suggestions for story ideas. Simply can't for legal reasons. And that's true. They can't do it. Mainly, I'm guessing legal reasons is if you took their idea, you'd have to either pay them for it or later on you could sue them and say, that's my idea, you stole it. So obviously they have to sit around and kind of talk about it. So they can't obviously do it. So bad because I had an amazing idea who can be in depth as RPM story and not something like previous seasons. Again, can't take it. And that's absolutely fine. Here we go, here's another one. Disappointing news to Power Ranger fans and Super Sentai fans. Disappointing to hear as a writer as well. Now, I don't know if they're feeling disappointment or they're just literally trying to have a go. So I can't really tell on that one. And Simon replies, just explaining the rationale why these seasons have been adapted. And that's true. People just don't get it into their heads about it. It's like they think that the best way to adapt a season would be like, hey, here we go. We just bring it across, we write a few stories, and then basically we just use a lot of Sentai and we do a quick film, and it's done within 10 minutes. It takes a long time. Goes, how long after shooting wraps to the second season typically finish post-production? About a year. So yeah, it's gonna take the time. I kind of really want to wrap this video up. It's kind of a long one already, and I feel like there is so much stuff that goes on, and people instantly go after someone on the show, a writer, the showrunner, you know, little things like this, and it kind of really irritates me. It feels like the fandom want everything. Like the second it pops up, you know, it's like, okay, we've just had that Dino Fury has been adapted from Rear Soldier, but what's the next Sentai after that? What's this? I want this, I want that. For the people like kind of just always constantly tweeting at Simon, having an argument with him on his Twitter that he knows more than all of us knows. It's not every single day that we get someone who is so high up within Power Rangers that actually interacts with fans. He could literally have privated his Twitter and actually taken it all off and gone, I'm not answering any questions, or block the people that ask him questions. But he's been very forward, he's been very okay with it, and I don't want the fandom to ruin this, because we've seen this happen. You know, it's like the fan wants to know everything straight away, and it just irritates. Why can't we wait for it? I don't care what's adapted next. If it is adapted, if it isn't, I want a good story. I want to wait for the episodes each week to come out and be like, oh my god, this is amazing. But I don't think we do. I think we just have to have everything now. And you know what? It irritates me. Can we just wait? Can we just sit back and wait? But at the end of the day, that's my kind of thoughts, my opinions and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとう。チャンネル登録、高評価お願い。